So what ended up happening was I made a video last night, but the audio wasn't playing. And I was too angry, too pissed off, and too tired to actually fix that. So what I did was I deleted the video. And then part of me wanted to sleep on it. Part of me wanted to know if I would wake up and feel a little better, at least even marginally better, about what I watched. You know, like 12 hours later, 13 hours later, how would I feel? What would my approach be? And I think I could sum it up by saying, I dislike Doc Rivers' rotations. I'm going to get a little bit into that later in the video. But I do like Doc Rivers the person, and I like Doc Rivers the coach. Because this guy went off as he should have. Like DJ Eastwood said in the stream, rebounding his effort. You only come up with 2 rebounds in 26 minutes. That's just unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable for a player to only come up with 2 rebounds in 20 minutes. And it's not like they were boxing him out, it was so pathetic that Nikola Jokic could literally just stand there, hold his arms up, and get the ball, because it's not like anyone was jumping and suddenly wasn't like anyone was boxing him out. That was the least amount of effort on the boards I had ever seen in my life. He only came away with 24 rebounds last night. 24 in a 48-minute game. The effort was embarrassing. It was humiliating. And just thank God it wasn't a nationally televised game. That was effort, execution, effort their pride. What an embarrassing spectacle that last night was. It was an embarrassing spectacle. And like Thomas Adone of 81 Radio said, you're blaming the altitude. Maybe I would buy that if everybody else shot the bed. But there's a young kid named Maxey, 20 years old, who was fearless, seized his opportunity to play because, hey, Doc, what did the kid do to lose his job? No, seriously, he was playing productive basketball in January. He was a part of your regular rotation, getting 15 tight minutes a night, finding himself, and then you yell him back because, oh my God, we got the sniper for Courtmont. So now the kid is on the yo-yo, and now he's, probably still completely out of the rotation once George Hill comes around. But until he comes around, we gotta talk about this point guard position. Everyone is struggling right now to run the offense. Everybody. It's not just Ben as much as he's a sore eye from. Not only did he get 2 rebounds in 26 minutes, he had 3 turnovers in 26 minutes. Now, I want you to keep in mind there are 12-minute quarters. 12 and 12 is 24. So in 2 quarters and 2 minutes, he threw the ball away 3 times. Can you imagine, you play Ben another 8-10 minutes, would there have been another 4 turnover, 5 turnover, maybe another 6 turnover night? Take care of the damn ball. Stop running into people. That's seriously what it is. Stop. You want to be an NFL running back? Go convert the football. I legitimately think he'd be a better football player. Running back, tight end, or maybe a defensive lineman. I don't know, but he's in the wrong sport. If you want to be 6'10 and run and not really have any skill with the ball, on the ball, whatever it is, if that's what you want to do, go play a sport where you don't have to carry the ball and move at the same time. Because you just don't look like a basketball player. In Ben Simmons' bad games, the dude does not look like a basketball player. Legitimately doesn't look like one. He looks like a guy who you literally sign him off the street because he runs fast and he's tall. And hey, you give him the ball. It's so embarrassing. It's embarrassing to watch him play. Because I know that I could do exactly what he did at 6'10". I could run, dribble the ball. And there's nothing special behind it. There's nothing special handing it off to a Seth Curry or to a Burkhan or to a Danny who splashes a three. It's not the same thing as a Rajon Rondo who could create shots off the bounce for his teammates. It's not the same thing as Jason Kidd. Like, there was a legitimate reason, and I talked about this with Biago a little bit. Why are you ranked 13th in offense? Obviously missing the big piece a little bit in this road trip, but overall in the season, why haven't we been as consistently explosive? Sometimes we see the explosiveness, and sometimes we don't. DJ talked about the Sacramento game that he didn't watch. I didn't watch it either. Like, I was surprised. But I go and look back at the highlights of that game, and obviously number one, the Sacramento Kings. But number two is this. 6'10", big, tall passer guy wasn't in the game. And you kind of notice how much better that is for everybody else. Because instead of guy who thinks by playing point guard he runs into walls, literally, you have a Shake Milton who also did not play good at all. And I don't think Shake Milton ain't been a point guard either. But he doesn't run into walls. He sucks at it. He turned the ball over himself. But at least he's not going to run into a wall and basically throw off the entire offense. I think we reached the point where the Ben Simmons point guard experiment, for the sanity of us all, has to end. For the sanity of Doc, for the sanity of Daryl Morey, for the sanity of that upper brass. That is why we brought in George Hill. Because this guy cannot play point guard for a title contender. It's impossible. Not even just for a title at all. He does not fit. It is just me saying it, not the GJ Eastwood saying it. Larry Brown said it. And forget saying it, just look. Is it normal for a point guard to lead head first into a crowd and an offensive foul or losing the basketball because he's in that crowd? Is it normal for that? It's not. You know it. I know it. Let's be real about it. It's not normal the way he's careless with the ball. Careless is an understatement. I've never seen anything like it at the guard position. I have 20 years of NBA watching experience. I have never seen a guard who could run smack dab into a guy and lose a ball. It's embarrassing to look at. The whole point of that, Ben Simmons is not and should never ever be again your point guard. The minute that George Hill is healthy, you make the switch because you have no choice. You can't keep on doing this. You can't keep derailing the entire team with a point guard who runs smack dab into people. And so yeah, it's true, Ben Simmons' finishing ability has been suspect. It's true that Ben Simmons is never going to get a jump shot. And it's even true that Ben Simmons' post-game is, right? All of that is true. But even as all that is true, Ben Simmons' biggest problem right now is that he played the point guard worse than a kid out of the YMCA. Seriously. You can size them kid from the YMCA, and even he has the common sense not to run into other humans to turn the ball over. That's my main frustration. 3 turnovers in 26 minutes. You averaged 4.9 turnovers a game in the month of March. It's been your worst month of your career at point guard. And it's just been so symbolic at a level where you're like, it's over. Like, I am not about this. Like, there is no more Brett Brown. There's no more, we're going to be patient with your point guard play. You suck at this position. I actually think you suck, period, at any position where you're holding the ball from the perimeter. You're clearly an interior player. Think about it, guys. Think about every game that we have seen Ben Simmons explode. Every game we saw him explode. What happened? He rolls to the rim. He gets open dunks. He might get that little post position for that hook shot. He is very clearly a power forward. Let's be real with this. He is very clearly a power forward. He can't play everywhere offensively. Defensively, sure. Let him switch on everyone. But offensively, he has a role. Power forward. He's not a guard. Maybe you call him a swingman, small forward, to keep Tobias Harris at a comfortable level. Okay. But enough with Ben as your primary ball carrier. No. Right now, Ben Simmons is like a pitcher with a high ERA and no control over the baseball. Ben Simmons right now is a turnover machine waiting to happen. And because he turns the ball over at the frequency that he does, and because he has these rim runs that don't really do anything, it's literally lost possessions. So, we need George Hill to come back. And when he does come back, we need George Hill in the starting lineup to be able to stabilize what is right now a very unstable situation. And to be clear, it doesn't have to be. Ben Simmons doesn't have to run smack dab into somebody. He could pull up that 10-foot jump shot. He could use a nice little up and under layup. He could have some fineness and touch to his game. He could have some semblance of an offensive skill in 5 years. So no, it doesn't have to be this way. But it is this way, and we have to adjust and not do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. If this is in the play, with the ball in his hands, you have to get him off of the ball. He is a better off-ball scorer and an off-ball playmaker, and he can off-ball distribute. But you can't be serious about winning a championship with a guy who turns the ball over 4 to 5 times a night. You can't. It's just not logical. Russell Westbrook is doing it there in the lottery. Literally, that's the difference. The difference between being a title contender and being a lottery team is if you're capable of taking care of the ball, taking good shots. And right now, that's not Ben. And I don't think it ever will be. I am done, at the very least, with Ben Simmons, the point guard. I've been done with that for 2 years now, to be honest with you. He just can't play that position. He lacks the requisite skills to play that position. Yeah, he passes, great. But he doesn't break down the defense, and he doesn't create with the pass. He just passes and hopes that someone else can create a bucket for him. Which is why I said, it's not Ben and 4 shooters, because he's not creating the shooting pocket for them. It's Ben and 4 playmakers. That's what Ben needs. But guess what? That's not only the most expensive team of all time. That team is actually called the Brooklyn Nets. And yeah, I don't think that you're going to be able to get Ben Simmons on the Brooklyn Nets. So there you go. With Ben's salary and what he is, which is defense sort of... Yeah, his defense was horrible last night too. With what Ben is, he needs to play with superstars. He himself is not and never will be a superstar. And quite frankly, should not be an all-star. Look, coaches, I'm glad that he had this 4 game. But let me put his 4 game into some brutal context. He's 6'10", so he better be bad at basketball. He's 6'10", averaging 7 rebounds a night. That's fucking pathetic. Ben Simmons has always been an inconsistent rebounder, but last night was 0 effort. 0. No fucks given on either end of the court by Ben Simmons. So, his rebounding is, I don't give a fuck. I never did. I'll be honest, Doc, I never gave a fuck about rebounding. He's 6'10". He's 6'10". Would be damn dude. He's 6'10". And his scoring, considering that he gets to the rim the way that he does, again, it should be more. If you were a better free-throw shooter other than terrible, or if you could do something other than, you could finish at the rim better. Like I said, a soft findings layup, some touch at the rim on your hook shots, something so that no matter what the situation, you could produce. So instead of producing 16 on 11 shots, you could produce, up to 20, 25-ish, etc. Like your Utah game and other games if you just have the touch at the rim. It's just... But how long are we going to say this? That's where I'm at. 5 years of your professional career, you should have had this down by now. You should have developed an offensive skill where You had us down. That's the thing that angers me the most, and it's also the thing that saddens me the most. 5 years, and you do not have a single offensive skill in your repertoire. That's embarrassing. That is legitimately embarrassing. And to his credit, he finally called his own performance shit. And that he and the team, and that's true, I'll get on the team right now in a second, but he has to look in the mirror. Oh yeah, you have to look in the mirror. But when George Hill was healthy, Doc Rivers had to make the decision. You're not a point guard. You might be many things, but you'll never be my point guard. You will never, ever, unless we win the championship. That's the only caveat. Until then, you will never, ever, ever be my point guard. You don't have the skill for it. It's suicidal. It doesn't put the team in the best position to succeed. You're not a one. It sure is not as anybody else. So again, there were two parts of the argument. The one part of the argument that ended up closing the segment, and when I pointed out that our number 25 gifted greatest player ever is not actually a point guard. And then number two, I was like, Seth Curry is not a point guard. Well, guess what? You saw that he's not a point guard. Never had been. This is his first year as a starter. This is Seth Curry's first year ever as a starter. Neither the Portland Trailblazers nor the Dallas Mavericks thought he was a starter. He was undrafted leading into the NBA. And we're not talking some Robert Covington, success story either. He shoots his 45%, yay, mostly again off catch and shoots. If Steph Curry just took catch and shoot fees, I'm pretty damn sure that he would shoot 45% too. But Steph Curry has the ability to shoot the ball off the bounce, which Steph Curry does not really have that ability. Nor does Steph Curry really have a great handling ability, which you saw in this game too. If Steph Curry were a good combo guard, you wouldn't have made the trade for George Hill to begin with. That spectacular, epic fail of a game showed exactly my point in that podcast. You can't be fucking serious about Seth Curry in the playoffs. You can't. You can't be serious about it. So yeah, with a small sample size of 17 games, you got Jerome B, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harrison there carrying two spot starters, Danny Green and Seth Curry. But understand, the word spot starter is a NBA 2K term which basically says low-end starter. Like, I guess I could put you in the starting lineup. It's not an endorsement. You're only averaging 12 points or 44%. It's not an endorsement. You're not a great player. And to be sure, I doubt he thinks of himself as a great player. But that whole going ape shit, on, oh my God, I can't believe you would bench the great Seth Curry. No. He hasn't been great this season or at any point. He is a solid role player who plays a role, but if you can get that role, even if it's not at the same quote-unquote percentage, but you get the ball handling, you get the elite defense, you put yourself in a better position offensively to actually score some points. It's not all about spot shooting. And if it is all about spot shooting, it's because the number 25, all roads to an imperfect roster, go right back to him. Why should we have to play an inferior basketball player just to fit around number 25? Does he elevate it? Does he make that inferior ball player better? No, he makes him useful. And that's two entirely different things between being useful and being better. Ben Simmons makes certain guys useful. He doesn't make them better. And Seth Curry has never been a starter. So when George Hill is healthy, George Hill is going to start. His defense, his energy, his rebounding, his size, his wingspan of 6'9", all of these make him a superior player to Seth Curry. Period. And if you have Seth Curry on the bench, that would be grateful for Shake Milton. It would make the offense better for Seth Curry to come off the bench. Because Shake Milton isn't a point guard either. But here's the thing. Do I think that Shake Milton and Seth Curry playing together, you have one catch-and-shoot guy and you have one dribble-dry guy in Shake Milton? Would it make the defense harder to guard Shake Milton if you had threats like Seth Curry and Furkan Korkmaz in the same lineup? I think it would. I think the more shooters on the bench, the easier it is. Because you have to understand that Shake Milton plays with Dwight Howard. If Ben Simmons and Dwight Howard is a total failure, and it is, what makes anyone think that Shake Milton and Dwight Howard is any better? It's not. So if you're able to get a shooter like Seth Curry on that second unit, and you give Shake Milton an option for the three-point land because his shot has utterly disappeared, then yeah, that's what you would go with. But right now, George Hill cannot come fast enough, and neither can Embiid. Joel Embiid will make this easier, because with Joel Embiid on the floor, Ben Simmons doesn't have to try as hard to be a playmaker that he's obviously not. Just throw it in the big fella, and let him produce and let him score. And things will get back to somewhat normal. But I am happy that this March happened. I'm happy that this March happened. Because this March was the biggest sample size. I told you, Ben Simmons is not a fair shot player. Ben Simmons is not a fair shot player. He's not really an all-star. He's not my all-star. He's not a difference maker. He is, at his best, a glue guy if you have four other guys around him and if he weren't making $30 million. But tragically, he is making $30 million. Tragically, he is taking up 1/3 of the cap. Tragically, we need him to be a much better ball player than he is and may ever be. So, there was this stat line that came out. He got more 15 5-5 games. He got more 15 5-5 games than Giannis did or that Pippen did and Jordan did. And I'm like, who cares? Those players are greater players in part because it didn't just stop at 15 and 5. A lot of them were 30 and 8, 30 and 10, 30 and 6. The 21 assist triple-double. Ben Simmons would never be able to do what Russell Westbrook did the other night. Never. Never. And it's not for lack of physical ability, it's for this. Russell Westbrook, he has his head up. He's looking. He sees the player cutting. He anticipates the guy cutting. Throws the line pass. It's a dunk. Russell Westbrook, and it's not like Russell Westbrook is this genius of a basketball player, but compared to Ben Simmons, he's fucking Einstein. I would rather have Russell Westbrook near John B. That's where we're at. As far as purely, strictly point guard play, and if neither one can shoot, give me the guy who can keep a ball on the bounce, as Abdenabi would say, keep the ball alive, can find his teammates in the paint, in the corners, rather than just simply the corner, because I can't get to the rim. We're legitimately there where Russell Westbrook is arguably as good, if not better, than Ben Simmons. Now, making that statement 2 years ago would have been an obvious fact. Making that statement now, 5 years into Ben Simmons' career, is a fucking embarrassment. That was embarrassing last night. And yes, it's the Cavaliers, but precisely because it's the Cavaliers. In a situation like this, even without Joel Embiid, beat up on a lottery team. Take some anger out. You should be angry at yourselves for the kind of performance you put on the court. Not for the fans, but again for yourself. Forget us for a moment. Get your fucking pride back. 60 Universe, signing off.